Good morning, all. It's Steve Factor and
Gina Silvestri. Good morning.
Woo! So we woke up this morning, and I don't know how it happened, but I'm shorter than Gina now.
It's amazing to be this tall, taller than you for once. They
So,
don't make high heels high enough for that.
so we are on a bunch of rocks, and I don't know what you could see there from the camera, but this is absolutely beautiful. And so is everything around here. We're in Lynn Valley, Vancouver, British Columbia, home to Gina. I mean, she's so familiar with this and has been forest girl for so long and nature. And here I am, I'm pretty new to all of this and really taking it in on a different level that I am raw vegan and that I have love in my life. So raw vegan is a total act of love, like on oneself. And then falling in love and meeting another one who loves herself. And the love and the love with the loving food, the loving energy, the loving nature. What do you think the result is? I mean, you get love and love and love and love and love and love and love, and you add those all together, you're going to get love. It's not rocket science.
Right.
But we work at this. Yeah. We work at this. We find ourselves going back away from love into fear. We have it, whether it be relationshiply, whether it be work-wise, whether it be just life-wise. You know, we have this love over here, and we have this fear over here, and you don't have to move that. Okay. We have these things here, and for me at least, they like battle for supremacy in my mind. And so what do? I get around people like Gina Silvestri. I get around people like our coach, Carrie Murphy, and others too. Carrie Murphy is a new addition into our lives, in my life, and reunited with Gina. And so with that, we practice. We practice cultivating love because it's not always coming natural to us. It is natural, but we have this whole thing called life that we've been through that has done some stuff to dampen love. Not that it can dampen love, it just kind of covers it up a little bit.
Like what stuff do you think?
Like stories, how we grew up. Okay. You know, so we grew up with stories. Everyone's got their stories, their upbringing, their parents, what they thought they got, what they thought they should have got, what they wish they would have got. And then, of course, all the greatness that parents gives us, too. It's not just, but I'm talking about how love gets dampened, and sometimes the stories that we grew up in, mom and dad, brother, sister, these early relationships kind of molded us. And everybody, of course, is doing the best they can. And not to judge anybody, we get to become aware of it. And this is where raw food comes in. It helps our awareness. This is where nature comes in. This is where love comes in. All of these things heighten our awareness. And it's not that we're seeing anything new. We're just now seeing what has already been there.
Right, before the stories.
Before the stories.
And before the stories we told about ourselves, too.
Yes.
Like the stories that I could have done better, and I should have done better, and I could have been different, and I wish I would have done this, and I wish I would have done that. Instead, we stay in the isness of life, the reality.
I love it.
It just is.
The isness of life.
And it is love, like you're talking about.
Yes.
It's totally love.
Yeah. It's really good.
Really good.
Yeah, really
and the more
good.
time we spend in nature, I just got back from a run, and I feel my love energy heightened. Like I wanted to come back and ask Steve, how can I embody love for you today? That's how I feel. I feel like I want to ask you that. Because I'm so plugged in. I was running, I was moving my body, I'm in the most beautiful nature. You can hear the water. I don't know if you can hear the water, but it's so beautiful.
So did you hear that? I have a rough life. I wish I had a woman more loving.
Well, I'm not perfect either. We both know.
I mean, it's like she just went on a run and she wants to cultivate and embrace and have more love for me and how she could show that. I mean, are you serious? This is real. Not by luck. I don't believe in luck, but I got to manifest Gina Silvestri in my life. And I want to be able to give love to you too.
Yeah.
I totally want to be able to do that in every way and in any way, and like you say, always and always. Or always, always.
And you do, sweetie. You do. That's why I'm inspired too.
Yes.
We manifested each other, and we both honor love so much, and we cultivate it. And eating good food is a huge part of that.
Yes.
Because we're taking care of ourselves, which helps us to take care of each other and be here.
Yes.
And be loved.
Look at that. Okay, so we go with this. We go with the love, and so there are tools. And I want to bring up a couple tools today that our coach gave us.
Yes.
Okay? So these are momentum journals.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 2 journals. I have 2 journals I just got. They're blank right now. But basically there's 2 journals. There's a red one. And this is where I would jot down these little journals. Love momentum. Anything with Gina that I find that's working in our relationships, or things that I like about her or that she did. That will make me feel that, because when I write it down, it becomes in my awareness, and when I read it and when I embrace it, cultivate it, it starts to grow. Anything we do grows. If we want to like let's just say we wanted to say everything we hate about each other.
Yes.
Like this is the worst of the worst of the worst. Pretty soon we will like be split up, and we'll be gone, and we'll just like tell why she's like this and he's like that, and rah, 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 with our stories.
And sometimes we plug into that, and that takes on a momentum of its own too. So we'll be like, oh, Steve, why do you have to do that? And then that right away I plugged into that. Yeah. So I started that circle. And if he's not feeling super strong, he might be like, whoa, like defensive, and he might, well, you do this, and then it's like boom, 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 and we're going down instead of up. So
correct.
This journal,
the love momentum journal, for sure does it. Whatever we focus on grows. That what's the saying? What something grows. I can't think of that.
What you invest in grows, and
it is that for sure.
What you feed, you breed.
Yeah, there's a rhyme. I was looking for a rhyme.
Yeah. We got the rhyme.
we got the rhyme at the Whole Food parking lot.
Oh, that's right. And there's another one coming up.
There's another one coming.
Wraps.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, we're going to do a wrap video on how to make wraps.
To celebrate our new wrap event at Whole Foods.
Yes, we'll make collard wraps, nori wraps, and any other kind of wraps that we could wrap up.
See all these beautiful things that manifest from love and staying in that momentum energy and building it and really consciously feeding it and nourishing it.
Yes.
Like all of these beautiful things are born in the world, and you could do them together with someone that you love.
Yes.
This is new to me, and I'm just so honored to be with you.
Me too. I like doing it.
That.
We even talked too, well, before we get into the journal for the future, we'll talk about it in a second, but the other journal is the journal of business momentum journal. Yes. And so that's a green one. I have a green business one and a red one for Gina. And so in the green one, we write down what's working, what did happen in our life today, what are the positive things that worked. And when we have that positivity, we attract more of it. Like attracts like. And so we can do it in our relationship now, and I could work on it, these little things, and then I can work on the business. Because I have a mind that fear starts to come in. Fear comes in and says, this relationship might not work, or this business might not work, or this thing in life won't work. And it's not like a rational thing. It's just fear-based that disguises itself as rational. And so I heard before that, again, and I learned this a long time ago, the more we focus on what we want, the more of that comes into our life. And or whatever we focus on, that happens more. So in the future, we talked about this morning, how awesome the idea of a momentum journal is, writing down all the positive. When we have kids, we want our kids to have their own momentum journals, and early on focus on let's write what was good today. Yes. And they're going to focus on more of that, because we see a lot of kids. I've seen so many kids over the years. And you see great gratitude, grateful kids, and you see spoiled brats and everything in between. And so we really want to cultivate that gratitude in our children, because we see how much it works in our life.
Yeah, and it's a habit, right? It's literally just a habit, like exercising and eating well. And when you create the habit and it takes on a life of its own, wow, imagine starting that early in life.
Early on, right.
It's so beautiful. It's such a gift that we give to ourselves, to each other,
Yeah.
then our children, and then the community,
Yeah.
the world. And so I have a momentum journal too,
Yes.
for love and for abundance and money. We have
Yes.
some beautiful dogs visiting us.
Hey, doggies.
And yeah, one thing I write that I'm grateful for is the rhythm in Steve's voice. Isn't it beautiful? I just love the rhythm in your voice. It's just this steady, beautiful rhythm when you're talking, and I love listening to that. And it's something I really appreciate in you.
I said a hip hop, the hip hop. Don't stop rocking to the band boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the boogie to the boogie to the beat. Thank you. I mean, there's so many things we love about each other, and you love my rhythmic voice. I love how you bring energy into things, into the conversation, and see things as energy instead of seeing things as like finite and this whole, you know, this rock right here, you know, it's like there's energy in the rock, you know, and my old way of thinking is like, it's just a rock. Who cares about a rock? Here's a rock. What, do I throw that rock? Who cares about that rock? And it's like, but that rock, even the rock itself, that is motionless to us, is really has energy, life force energy, and we could like plant in and feel the rock. I'm like feeling sitting on rocks right now and feeling them. And as we get cleaner, and here's the thing, like Gina has been on this journey for 6 years, pretty much like 99% raw. I've been about 99% raw for about 3.5 years, and before that I was about 70% raw, and now Gina, I believe, has more cleansing that has happened in her life on a lot of different levels, so she is more in touch with so many things, like where you would feel the rock and be like, oh, I could feel the energy. I'm like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I guess there must be energy because you're saying it, and maybe I could plug into that. But there are times now where I'm starting to plug into it a little here and there, and then I like, oh, I feel what you're feeling. I get it. And so we're back to, it's never about the thing we're feeling or this, it's always about the perspective. Right. And when we start to get rid of what we're not and become more and more of who we are, we do have this natural intuitiveness and this natural connectivity to all life forms. We have that. But as we get into the modern world like most of us have, and then we eat the stuff that we eat, and we think the thoughts that we think, and then the TV, and then the ads on the media, all of this stuff starts to change our stories and our perceptions. And then all of a sudden, I pick up a rock, and it's like, it's just a rock. Who cares about that rock?
And so it desensitizes us, right,
desensitizes,
Steve?
yes.
Yeah. So a lot of time on the computer and phones really takes away our sensitivity, and that's why I stay away from it as much as possible, so I can stay in touch and stay in tuned.
Yes.
But there's so much I appreciate about you too, that world energy too. I feel like it's all about balance.
Yes.
Right. So
yes.
we're teaching each other.
Totally.
You teach me. Like,
yes.
I was thinking when I was running, Steve and I were talking about relationships this morning too, and I was thinking, you know, a lot of time the women are on the feeling end and the men are on the doing end. And when it gets out of balance, I might be feeling too much and want to go into that world too much. And I'll say, no, I want to talk about our relationship for 12 hours. And you're like,
how about 11?
I love you. But we do need to make, you know, create a life for ourselves, you know, so there's practical and sort of feeling and that kind of thing. And so it's about balance too. It's about, you know, coming into balance with that. So I appreciate that you do sometimes just see this as a rock too, is what I'm saying. There's a balance there too.
Sure.
So just as it's fascinating to you that I can feel the rock, it's fascinating to me that you can say, okay, Gina, it's just a rock. Let's run, let's go to the forest. And I'm like, oh, but it's a beautiful rock. I want to stay here and live with it.
There's more to life than a rock, Gina. There's a lot going on in this world besides this rock.
But you know what? In the moment, let's argue about the moment.
Well, and that's true, because it's always about the moment.
There is just the rock and me.
Look at that. See there? See, I try to be like funny, and it's like in reality, in this moment, there is only this rock right here that you can hear the noise you can't see it, but I'm hitting it. Right. That is the only thing that's really happening, and everything else is our head. So we get to learn from each other and grow with each other. And a lot of our stuff that triggers the other into feelings that we don't want are those exact things that we need to grow from.
Yes.
And the lessons, the universe says, here's a lesson for you. Oh, you never took care of this in your life? Oh, I'm going to shine this really bright right now.
Here it is.
Here it is. And then here's the mirror. Boom. We're like mirrors to each other. We just hold up the boom. And so.
I love that you see that.
Yes.
Sorry, that's beautiful. I love that we can share that perspective. And that we can learn together how to create a beautiful life in the practical and the feeling world, and sort of have that melding, and to be in this present moment, yet also move through the world and serve it, and do it in an organized fashion too.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, I don't know, an elevated, awesome monkey mind or something.
Yeah, and it comes back to, it's just all perspective. You know, there is life, and then there's what we make out of it. And so we invite you to make more out of your life. We invite you to eat more fruits and vegetables uncooked. No one has to become 100% raw vegan unless you want to feel 100% awesome. No, but really just add. Our message is more just increase, because the other stuff will go away in its own time. As when your body starts to get the nutrition it needs, when your body balances out and reaches the place called homeostasis, cravings diminish. And the things we think we need out there, and that media tells us all of that stuff starts to say, maybe not. Maybe if I just eat fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, that could be enough. Hey, there's an idea. What if natural foods in their natural state was all that we needed to sustain us for life? And not only sustain us, but that we could thrive and just be like living the best life ever. What if? I don't know. I think we should go get some hamburgers and pizza today.
Well, that's the thing. The homeostasis in my old life and your old life was that.
Right.
So at first there's a bit of discomfort because we're resetting that homeostasis. But so that's what it might be for you if you're watching right now too. And I encourage my clients, and the first step in my program is to reset your body so that it's working for you while you're doing this work, while you're looking in the mirror and looking at the boo and going, oh my gosh, there's stuff there I need to deal with. So why not have your body in a beautiful place and put yourself in nature, even when it feels unnatural at first. Come and sit on the rock and just be with it in this moment, and start creating habits like the journals and everything to give yourself the best chance. You know, fruits and vegetables. They're the best.
And some of you might not know my story. This could be the first video you're watching of me or Gina, but I'll tell you from somebody who came from hamburgers and hot dogs and pizza and burritos and Chinese food and all-you-can-eat sushi and all-you-can-eat Indian buffets and Starbucks and Frappuccinos and ice cream and Reese's peanut butter cups and everything upon everything. I love food more than ever now.
I love that.
And I didn't have iceberg lettuce till I was 16. That was my first vegetable, smothered in blue cheese. And, you know, my parents really wanted me to eat vegetables. They did everything they could to make me eat, not make me, but to get me to eat them. And I just, no. Give me my bagel and cream cheese. Give me my hot dog. Give me my French fries. That's all I care about. And now I love food more than ever. And that still blows me away, because I used to look at that as like parsley would be like on the plate of the steak, and get that parsley off of it. I would put the parsley and like put it out on the table for the busboy to clean up or something, because you're in my way of my steak. You know, and
now you juice it in the morning. You juice bunches of parsley with greens in the morning.
And
that's
now
how we start the day.
And I also juice steak.
You do? Not in my juicer, right?
No, I haven't done that.
Good. Okay.
So I have this sense of humor, and sometimes I think it's funny, so bear with me while
You are very funny, sweetie. We love that. And it's approachable. It's like you're not talking down to us. You're not saying, this is the way that you do it, and you're real, and you're open. And I love that.
Thank you.
I've always loved that.
It could get kind of mushy with us. Yes. I could see that there's some people out there that would be like, oh my God, I get these off of my screen right away. And I could see some people really embracing it, and then everybody in between. You know, I've had people say to me, like, God, you know, you're so mushy and you share so much online with your relationship and all of that. And people like have a hard time with that. And it's like, I love sharing on Facebook and YouTube whatever's going on in my life. Whether it is love, whether it is fear, whether it is sorrow, whether it is happiness and joy, is like I want to bring the real message, because it's not always joy, 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 and the feeling. I was going to say it's not always pure energy. It actually always is pure energy, but I'm not always tapped into it.
Right. That's a good way of putting it. I love that. Yeah. So it's the tapping in, it's the learning, and that's what we're talking about today is the tools.
Yes.
So thanks for sharing about the abundance journals and the momentum journals for love and abundance.
Yes.
And I look forward to creating more beauty with you, my love, and just dancing with you and celebrating your birthday tomorrow.
And this is what I have to put up with all the time. Have
a beautiful day, everybody.
Beauty, everybody. We love you. Give me your hand, baby. Let me kiss it. Love you so much.
Love you too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.